Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Saab Doctor. I'm Joe, as you all probably know if you've watched anything on the channel. And tonight we're going to be opening this box and using what's inside on the 9.7 to find out why the ABS light's on. Big thanks to our friends over at Kingbolen. Stay tuned. Alright, everybody that's watched the channel for a while knows that every once in a while our friends over at Kingbolen send over another scanner, and that's what's supposed to be in this box. I haven't opened it yet, so let's see what it is. Hopefully it's not a chicken, because it's been sitting in the shop office for like 3 weeks. Oh, yep, it is a scanner. It is the Launch CPR129E. Now this thing is supposed to do all kinds of stuff. If I remember right, it can get Wi-Fi update. It can do ABS, SRS lights. What else? Oh, TPMS. Perfect. Because my TPMS light's on too. I forgot that this does this. And it has a touch screen. So let's open it up. Yep, I'm using the 9.7 as a table. Alright, one cable, so it's not wireless. I wasn't 100% sure. I didn't do much research. And then, got the unit itself right here. Right. Comes with a nice case, too. Sweet. Let's see if there's a manual or anything in here. Yep. Manual. You got a manual. You got another booklet. I'm not going to use any of those. I'm just going to plug it in. We're going to see what happens. Alright, so I haven't even connected this up yet, so let's just let me do that quick. Alright, let's get this plugged in and read some codes. Let the 9.7 air suspension do its thing. So alright, right now it's powering up with a screen that says create change. So I've never used this before, so I don't know if it like has to do an initial boot or something like that. Alright, welcome to use launch product. Here, let's see if I can get you zoomed in a little bit on this. You don't need to see my ugly mug. Alright, so we will start in English, alright, because this is brand new. We are in, let's see, America, Chicago. We're not going to select a wireless network because neither one of these are, well, I'm going to see if it'll let me not select a wireless network because right now the Wi-Fi in the shop is not working. Nope, it's making me select one. And it's connecting, which it's not going to be able to connect because we have issues right now, but we'll see what happens. I wonder how this works if you don't have Wi-Fi, because, there we go, no available network. I mean, it won't let me do anything. Alright, I guess I'll have to tether it to my phone. I'm not 100% sure why it needs internet, but, that's what we're going to have to do, I guess. Hold, please. Alright, now that I've got it connecting to my phone, which hopefully doesn't die while I'm using it, I still don't understand why it needs the phone, but it's probably because it does have free Wi-Fi updates. I just, you know, you'd think it would be able to, do that, like, when you ask it to. Hang on, it's having issues here. Alright, now it connected. For some reason it wouldn't connect the first time to my phone, the second time it did. It's asking me an email. I have to read a disclaimer, which I'm just going to agree to. Alright! Now we finally have a screen. Oh no. Oh! It's scanning my VIN number. Oh, check that out! So it actually I wish this would focus better. Can't tell if it's focused or not. So, if it's actually focused, what it did was it actually read the VIN number and knows what it's doing. Now I can start the system detection. That's actually pretty impressive for just being like a generic scanner. I actually own a Mercedes specific scanner that doesn't do this. So, okay. So I can automatically search. So it pulled up what GM version it needs, and it says GM diagnose. And let's just automatically search and see what it comes up with. Is the VIN correct? Yes. Vehicle type. It's asking if it's a Trailblazer or an Envoy. It's neither, but we'll go with Envoy because that's the closest. It has an up-level radio. It has dual-zone auto HVAC. 2009. Yes. Let's do a system scan. So it says the scan is in progress right now. It's had 10%. It's letting me know that I'm equipped with a bunch of modules. So, I mean, that's good. And what it's doing is it's scanning them as it's saying equipped. So that's good. Right now it's at 20%. It's scanning the BCM, which it might have frozen on. It's kind of cool, though. So I put in my time zone, and it actually pulled up the date and the time. So that's pretty... You know, for... I know this is a little bit more expensive launch unit. I think this one's about $200. Maybe a little bit more. I probably should have looked it up before making this video, but you know, I'm kind of a do it by the seat of your pants type of guy. But I mean, this is pretty impressive because so I was kind of talking a little bit about the Mercedes tool. I have a Mercedes specific scanner. Now it's not an actual Star Tech or whatever it's called, but it doesn't even go through, decode correctly, and know exactly what modules all cars have. So that's actually kind of impressive that this one does that. And that was a more expensive tool than this. I think that one I paid just about $300 for, if I remember right. This one's less. So, I mean, I know we're working on a GM vehicle here, so it's going to be a little bit, a little bit more generic, if you will, even though it didn't pull up that it was a 97X, which I think is a little strange, but I mean, I got it. It went into the GM software and then asked which GMT 360 it was. So it's actually scanning here the liftgate module, the passenger door module, the digital radio receiver, which is not equipped. Interestingly enough, it says it's not equipped with a body control module, which it definitely is. Maybe because it pulled up as a Trailblazer, or sorry, an Envoy. I had to tell it was an Envoy, and maybe that's why it's not pulling it right. All right, 100%. Okay, it says it's equipped with all these modules. All right, cool. Okay, I'm just going to do a generic health report. Maybe this will give me an idea where it is then. Transfer case control module, 1 fault code. See, maybe I was looking for ABS in the wrong place. Maybe it's under the transfer case control module. I also may have just dug way too far into this one, so I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, my first time using this tool, you're using it with me. Oh, the liftgate module has a fault code. Interesting. One in the liftgate module, one in the transfer case control module. Alright, it whipped up a report. Well, this is kind of cool. So it even has the location, transfer case control module, abnormal. Motor AB circuit malfunction. I wonder if my stepper motor is bad. Not stepper motor, but the transfer case motor. Funny enough, in the liftgate module, it's saying right front tire pressure sensor malfunction. Alright? And here we go. Here's what's wrong with my ABS light. Right front wheel speed sensor circuit malfunction. So we'll have to look into that and see why I'm getting a circuit malfunction. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to share this, and I believe I can actually take it and email it to myself. So see, I can email it to myself. It'll say diagnosis report of GM. I'm going to change that to Saab 97X. And then I'll hit send. It'll actually send me that report. So that's awesome. And let me just check my email, because I'm assuming it'll come over pretty darn quick. Well, it's not here yet, but that's alright. I at least have an idea of what's wrong with it. I'm going to have to look up the transfer case issue, because that probably is the motor. Those go out. It's a little late tonight. I'm a little tired, so I'm just having a loss of words for what it's called. Let's see if maybe like the sensor's the problem. We'll jack up that corner and see. I want to go back a couple. I'm going to jump out of this. I want to look and see if... Okay, diagnose. Let's see if Saab is in here. Saab. Oh. So I probably do need to go under Chevrolet for this. So I want to take a look and see if I can do programming with that TPMS light. Now that was in the liftgate module. Display data, tire pressure data. Remember, right, that was right front. And actually, I wonder if that right front has anything to do with my ABS issue. I'm going to try pulling this up first, and then we'll jack it up and take a look. There we go. It says right on here, right front pressure sensor mode, low battery. So it has a low battery in that wheel, so I'm going to have that pressure sensor replaced. But let's jack it up. Let's take a look at what's going on with the ABS sensor, and if that's something obvious. Alright, I am going to say that, I obviously pulled the wheel and everything off, and it couldn't have gotten much more obvious than this. Oh, you can hardly see that. But if you can tell, this got rubbed through by the tire. This is the ABS sensor wiring. So, it's hard to see where that goes. That goes down in there. I am going to have to probably buy a new ABS sensor from the looks of it. It doesn't look very hard to replace. Just goes and it plugs in right here, and it runs back down in here behind the rotor. But now I can tell you exactly why this rubbed through. You see this right here, supposed to attach in there. That would never fit in there. Maybe it's supposed to go up here, where there's another piece from probably a different sensor, because this looks like this sensor is probably a bit newer, judging by just seeing the writing on it. So I'm going to guess that somebody in some shop, because I didn't replace this got replaced before I bought the 9.7. So yeah. The tire rubbed through it because I did oversized tires on it on top of that, so that doesn't help at all. So I'm going to have to get another sensor and replace it. So let's go order up an AC Delco sensor for this thing, and we'll get back after it when that gets here. Alright, it's the next day. I'm a lot more refreshed than I was last night, and I won't babble a whole lot. And I also know the word encoder motor, which I couldn't figure out last night. Now, I think it's throwing an encoder motor code because of this ABS sensor. So, I'm going to put this in off camera because this is easy. It's one nut or one bolt and go. So we'll take this, install it, then we'll see if we still have codes. All right, so I got the new ABS sensor installed. Let's just take a peek at it. Okay, now one thing you'll notice is, hang on, get some light in here. The wire is routed the correct way because I took a drill bit and I cleaned up those two and then was able to press it in. So now that wire won't come in contact with the tire anymore. Just so you know, this is actually pretty easy to do. Remove the caliper, remove the rotor. It is one 5mm bolt that holds it in, and then that clip, and then there's just kind of like a handful of little spots that the wire attaches to along the way. Super easy. So let's go check and see if that solved our ABS problem. So I actually don't even need to plug the scanner in because the ABS light is already gone. Obviously the check engine light's on because it's shut off. And I'll have to take it in to get that service tire monitor light shut off. They're going to have to put a new TPMS sensor in. I called my local tire shop, and they said that would be all of $50. So I'm not super worried about that. So all in all, it looks like it's fixed, and the Launch did the job. So now you're going to ask me, is this any good? And here, I understand that this is sponsored content and you all feel like I'm getting paid to say yes. The answer is nope, they just send me the unit for free and pretty much say, unbox it, use it, give your honest opinion. My honest opinion is, yeah, it's actually pretty decent. I'm impressed with it, and here is why, and I'm going to do this real quick. First off, if you work on multiple makes, this works for multiple makes, and it digs into the systems. You can see ABS, you can see airbag, TPMS, all that kind of stuff. Second, it's not that expensive. I mean, yeah, it's a couple $100, but with the amount of use this is going to get, especially when I buy a few off-make cars, it's going to be huge. So those are the two reasons why I'd buy it. Now, does this replace a Tech 2 for programming with Saab cars? No, does not. Tech 2 is always the best for that. Don't even think anything different. But if you're going to work on multiple makes, and like for example the 97X, which uses a GM card, this is pretty decent because it works on both your Saabs and your GMs. So with that, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, coupon code for this in the comments below, and Saab on, folks.